back. My soup is nice and hot. I don't know if the camera can pick up on the steam of my hot soup. No, I actually can't pick up on the steam. It can't see it. December 27th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 3. Hot soup. It tastes so much better when it's hot. Very hot. It tastes good, but man, is it hot. I put it in the microwave for like a whole 2 minutes. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who's the judge here, anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement? Very well, no opening statement, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. Our prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Order. Order. Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah. Must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner. Witness, state your profession. I am the proprietor of the restaurant, The Wet Noodle, at Gourd Lake. And also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yup, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who the guy is. Objection! Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah. I predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure. Yep. What do you mean? My, memory. Your Honor. The witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. I gotta eat more of this beef and barley and vegetable soup. You can't recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. You can testify. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then. Shall we, witness? It was the night of the 24th. Just after midnight. Yup. I was in the restaurant, where I rent boats as usual. Then I heard a bang. Yup. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Then, just about then, the boat comes back to shore, and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There is nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict now. Yes, Mr. Wright. What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Rah! Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma. 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. The 3 minutes passed already. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yup. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats, as usual. Is there anyone who can verify that? Well, I guess Polly could. That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot? Don't be so hard on the girl, Keithy boy. Keith? The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue. Then I heard a bang. Yup. And where did the bang seem to come from? From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yup. Good. Continue. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. And then I heard another bang. So you heard 2 gunshots total? Yup. That's what Lotta said in her testimony yesterday. Then the boat comes back to the shore, and a man walks by my window. Two gunshots, huh? I guess I should probably save, huh? Alright, I'm just gonna press him on everything. Just after midnight, you say? Yep, just around then. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yep. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did. Yep. You see? Continue. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly, but I figured there were 2 men out there. Yep. But you couldn't see them clearly. Yep. At the time, that is. At the time. By your window? Yep, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I have a bad feeling about this. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad. Dead certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by, too. Witness, are you sure the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. Better act quick, or this trial's going to be over. Objection! Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun, and the photograph showing the man firing with his left hand? Exactly. This is clearly explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness's testimony is true. The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? Objection! Your Honor, the witness claims that Edgeworth said, "I can't believe he's dead," but his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie, Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have yet to realize this as basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you. Just tisk. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. It's supposed to be a new record. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. The case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, guilty. The accused will surrender to the court immediately to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. The court is adjourned. Wait. Who was that just now? Me. Huh? What? Larry? What are you doing here? Listen. You gotta listen to me. I was there in the park, the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until yesterday, but today I just remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Order. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Van Karma. You say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot. That night. I was sitting there in the audience, listening to the testimony. And then I realized something you said was different from what I remembered. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Order. Order. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor. If there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. Waste of time. A verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake was made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Alright, bye Crazy Berry. I hope you have fun and get some rest. Good night. Mr. Von Karma. I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now. What? The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. Whoa, that was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night? Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And they found the balloon in that air tank that night? Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's been something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor, in the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right. Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court, and that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15. Everything's on Larry now. Here we go. Larry Butts back on the stand, this time as a witness. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right. Leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quickly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was heading home, I heard this bang. I looked over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after the single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm just a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. Alright, now I can save. Save. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. Looking for something. Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely, he was hunting for this Gordy. That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense. This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. So I quietly slipped the boat back in the rental shop dock. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour, so I guess it was around 12. Yeah. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face. I'm not sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know? Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick? That was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? Guess we should start working on the contradictions. Sorry, I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Oh, okay. I gotta pair it with Lada's. Because she heard 2 gunshots. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You sure? That's what I said. Miss Lada Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man now just said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you even paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? Here we go, I'm dropping more frames. 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 Alright. I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude. With my headphones. What? He didn't mention the radio at all. Order. Order. And stop that booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones? Yeah. So what? That's a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Your Honor. Uh-oh. Here I go, I'm dropping more frame. Here I go, I disconnected. Here I go, I disconnected. Here I go, I disconnected. And I'm back. Your Honor. Please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah. No is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he is lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony. And to be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any way out of this, believe me. Yeah. Yeah, the stream's been cutting a lot. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening. Okay, we'll see if there's any improvement here. Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably no more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, you see? I was listening to it booming loud, like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. No, I can't prove it, but I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking to her about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good can knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask? Fine. Very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there is one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easily. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. No, 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 no! Come on, bitrate. No bitrate. Good, it's back to normal. Okay. The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed. And almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Ms. Hart's camera. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order, order. What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, the witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim that he heard the gunshot before midnight? You know what? It hasn't reached 0. And while I'm dropping a lot of frames... Is it buffering right now? Oh, I haven't disconnected. It looks like it's heading back to normal. Kind of want to check on my phone. Maybe that'll be easier. Here's the disconnect happening right now. Or not. Oh, great. I just spilled soup. Oh, at least it's not burning hot. Hey look, it's back in the green now. How about that? Took long enough. Alright. What do you think about Mr. Buzz's claim that he heard the gunshot before midnight? There's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim? Show me the evidence that there was a gunshot before midnight. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When was that last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard before midnight. Order. I guess that would make sense out of yesterday's testimonies. Bah, you waste our time with your empty statements. Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof it was fired before midnight? Do you have any proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Ah, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. There we go. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Do you have evidence that proves that there was a gunshot before midnight? Do you have evidence that proves that Mr. Butts wasn't just hearing things? Mr. Wright, is that a smirk I see? Your Honor, sorry. I really wasn't sure about the evidence. Don't show us evidence you aren't confident in, Mr. Wright. I'll ask you again. Well, it wasn't the camera. Ah, can I save? Doesn't look like I can save this right here. Maybe it's the lake photo? Nope. Not the lake photo. Oh, the second lake photo. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Ms. Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on this photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh yeah? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture, Your Honor. The real issue here is why nothing is shown on this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera, the camera that was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha. Yeah, doing this in real life would be really stressful. Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That's why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims. Order. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen on the night of the lake. Exactly. If this is true, then there were two sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why? Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? Ah, what's wrong, Nick? I have it. Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya, yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up the entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Tisk. So you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer here other than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on the boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility, yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 0:15, but Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. Can I save? Yes, I can save. Okay, thank you. I have one penalty left. But I believe it's Edgeworth and the murderer. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Hammond and met Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make all of this. Ludicrous. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Wright. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah. Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat in the shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest the real scene of this crime was not on a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? Show the judge where the murder really took place. Can I save? No, I cannot save. Alright. Was that at the hot dog stand? Was it inside the cabin? Was it at the van? It was probably inside the cabin. Here, of course, the boat shop, where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very close by. And where would he be if he just returned the boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I started at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might be able to just figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? Again, saving. I want to make sure I get this right. But I believe it was the boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth. On purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness?
And we're back. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop and then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body. And then he threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before, the boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry. I can't say what it was.
Your Honor, sir. Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him, quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned.
I'm dropping more frames again. A lot of frames very quickly. Alright. Are we back to normal? I think we are. Okay. Nope. Keeps changing. Back to normal again? Nope. Keeps changing from red to green now. It's so inconsistent. Like... Wrong one.
I just want to like show my bitrate right now. I'm not even gonna... Nope, wrong one. Okay. I'm actually gonna blow this up. Yeah, that'd be better. It looks like we're good now, though. Whoop. Wrong spot. I don't need to blow it up that much. I guess we'll just leave it there for now. Alright. Yay, Nick. You did it. Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what? What about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably gonna get off the hook. You could try and smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth. No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime that you committed? A memory of a murder? I think he's talking about DL6. Ah, shoot! Ah, shoot! Ah, shoot! Ah, shoot! Oh, it is! Dun 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 dun! And not dun 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 dun, like I thought it would be. Da 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 da! Yeah, I'm saving. December 27th, 2:11 p.m. Wright and Company Law Offices. What was Mr. Edgeworth talking about? A memory of a crime that I committed. A memory of murder. Do you really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some painful memory has been troubling him recently. But he'd never take anyone's life. Never. Nick. Yo, how's everyone doing? What'd you think of my performance today? I had him swooning in the aisles. Huh, Maya? Swooning? Me? Oh, yes. I do remember feeling faint. Right on. Tell me the truth. It was like love at first sight, right? Right, Nick? Huh? Me? Well, maybe my heart skipped a beat or two. I think you can do better than that. Come on. I saved Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy! You guys should be bowing before me. Yeah. Bow before your hero. Okay, there we go. Yeah, as you can see, I'm waiting for that little square to turn green because that means that the bitrate is stable. All right. All right. Let's talk to Larry, I guess. Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. You did. If you weren't there, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty. But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. Way to spoil the mood, Larry. Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know. But from where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. I mean, you could tell. Can you really tell he's telling the truth about that night? Nick, I don't know. But what I do know is I'm going to believe in you two until the end. Us two? Edgeworth and who else? Nah, he... Okay, we're back. No, we're not. No, we're not. I thought we were. It was green for a moment, and now it's green again!
Yes, in grade school. They saved me. Miles and Larry. They saved me and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know? What? Hey, Larry. What's he talking about? Huh? Sorry, I kind of forgot. Okay, Nick, out with it. I'm going to hear this story today and that's final. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was in the very end of 3rd grade. I was on trial. A class trial. A class trial?
You remember, Larry? Spring, end of 3rd grade. A kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared, with $38 still inside. Yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that. I can see why you'd forget, though. You were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So they thought you did it? Yeah. The kids said I should be put on trial. Trial? So the next day we held a classroom trial, with me as the defendant. I didn't do it. Guilty. He did it. Guilty. It was you. Thief. Give the money back. You're such a meanie. No one will play with him. Just admit it. You did the truth. You can't hide the truth. Tell us the truth. We're not going to play with you anymore. You shouldn't be allowed in the relay race. Give me back the 50 cents I owed you. Now, Phoenix, you know, you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Go over and apologize, Phoenix. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad. I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I had done it. I tried to apologize. I went to the boy whose money had been stolen and sitting. That's when it happened. You shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs. Miles? It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? No. Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. This is why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent. But Miles, it was your money that was stolen. Yeah, he did it. He's the one. We don't need proof. Make him say he's sorry. Why don't you all just shut up? This is always how it is. Everybody ganging up and picking on one person. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Very well. I'll replace the money myself. The class trial is over. That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were the best of friends. Wow, I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. That's when I learned what it's meant to be alone. Totally alone. Without a friend in the world. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I'd been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So I took it kind of personally, you see. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Alright. Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after that class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes shine. His eyes would shine when he talked about his father. I'm going to be a defense attorney, just like my father. A famous defense attorney. But a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right. I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad. It was several years later. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark Suspicions of a Demon Attorney. Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts." The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. That's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him. I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I just couldn't drop it though. I wanted to meet him, to learn why he'd become who he became. That's when I decided. Wait, you don't mean... That's why. That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, he'd have to meet me, whether he wanted to or not, in court. Edgeworth believed me, and I believe in him. He's in pain, and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him. Whoa, Nick. So, is that why you helped me out for free? Yeah. I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. Oh, Nick. We have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Right. It very well may be. Well, first there's that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. We're going back to the boat shop. Hey, pal. Long time no see. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Close one today, eh? I got so worked up. I guess no one can go into the woods today. The woods? Where Lotta was camping? The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one can go in for a while. I guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Huh. The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work. That old caretaker got away. Yep. I never imagined he might be the real murderer. Ahem. I'd know that clearing of the throat anywhere. Aha, hello. What might you be doing here? Out for a walk, hmm? Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of a fresh lemon, you see. Mr. Grossberg, this is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow. That is true, I get it. Yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right? Well, I'm not so sure about that. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance. Thanks. Bye. What do you think Mr. Grossberg was doing in here anyway? Who knows? We're gonna go to the caretaker shack. December 27th, caretaker shack. Nobody's home. Hello, squawk. Hey, it's Polly. I wonder where your owner's gone, Polly. Hello, squawk. I can't believe he'd run off and leave his poor parrot to fend for herself. Hello, squawk. Maybe I should take care of Polly, Nick. You probably shouldn't just kidnap her. The police know about her anyway. I'm sure they'll do something. Well, okay. Sorry, Polly. He says I can't take you. Great. Now the bird's going to hate me. Oh, the safe! Let's go to the safe. That reminds me, Nick. Polly here knows the number to the safe, right? Yeah, that's right. Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1228, squawk. Let's open it, Nick. Come on. I'm sure there isn't any money in there. But hey, he keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there. I'm not so sure. Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there. I guess there might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter. A letter? Oh, boring. There's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in very precise, clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Nick, why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on here? How should I know? I'm going to read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says, this is your last chance. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life.
The rest of the letter goes on to describe the murder plot in detail, how to kill Robert Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Calling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. It's all here, in perfect detail.
Too bad I can't present evidence to Polly. You look as grim as always. Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial. Class trial? What do you mean? You don't remember? No, I don't. Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 3rd grade? Lunch money? Oh, right. Yeah, I seem to remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you'd do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple, to a fault even. Well, maybe, yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Hey, Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to become a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He used to be the shooter, or he had to be the shooter any way you look at it. Yet he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago, the 3 of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I had lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory? Even now, I can't recall what happened in the elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had not of sound mind due to oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to lack of evidence. Innocent. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher, and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him. So he's like my sister was to you, Nick. He is a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he is obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Perfectly, huh? In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved. And not one suspect was declared innocent. Ever. But that's... I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. All Von Karma does is his job, and to find the suspect guilty. Perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth? If what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. He's right. Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I admit. No kidding. Let's present him with the letter. Edgeworth, see this letter? This came out of the safe in the shack where the boat rental caretaker lives. I see. Revenge? On me? Who's that old guy anyway? I don't know. Could he be an innocent defendant you got declared guilty or something? Nice, right? But I don't remember that old man. Not at all. So he was following this letter then? Which means there was someone else behind it. Now is the time to get revenge on the 2 men that ruined your life. 2 men, meaning myself and Robert Hammond. It also says this is your last chance. Last chance. Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitations on the DL6 incident. Wait, that old man. What is it? Do you know who he is? Yogi. Could he be Yogi? Yogi? The suspect in the DL6 incident. The one who was found innocent. Let's present the parrot to him. Sorry, I'm not sure I can help you with that. Well, never mind. Let's go to the criminal affairs department. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet. Gumshoe? He won't be coming back today. Oh, really? He said there was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow. The boat shop caretaker. He shouted about catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. One day left, Nick. Yeah, I know. Well, no time to waste. Let's get going. How about the Grossberg law offices? Maybe we can find more. He's out again. When does he work anyway? No, don't be harsh. Guess we'll have to come back later. Maybe there was something else I was supposed to mention to Edgeworth? Of course. Yanni Yogi. Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at the time. We just happened to be in the elevator 15 years ago. So that's why he's so afraid of earthquakes. The quake was incredibly strong. Before I knew it, everything was dark. We were there for so long, it felt like forever. The earth ached, and the darkness closed in on us in that little box. We became unsettled. Help, I can't breathe. Quiet. I said quiet, you're not making this any easier. I want to get out. Help, get us out. Don't shout, you'll just use up more oxygen. That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. In the court, Yanni Yogi's mental condition was called into question. They claimed the oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. In the end, the claim was passed the court. Yogi was found innocent. Yeah, the cold is getting to me. Huh, but isn't that strange? The letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to get revenge on you? Right. Yeah? There's something that's been troubling me these last few days. I didn't know whether or not I should tell you. I'm gonna take one of these cough drops. You mean the nightmare? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder.
I think the time has come to tell you all. For the last 15 years, I've had the same dream almost every night. I wake up in a fearful sweat every time. What kind of dream? It's a dream about my father's killing in the dark. Help. I can't breathe. Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. I want to get out. Help. Get us out. Don't shout. You'll just use more oxygen. I can't breathe. You're using up my air. What? Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. What? What are you? Stop breathing my air. No, father. He's attacking father. Then I see the pistol lying by my feet. I don't know if it was the evidence from that day in court with the bailiffs. In a daze, I pick up the pistol. Get away. Get away from my father. And with that scream, I wake. It's a bone-chilling scream. A scream that has rung in my ears for the past 15 years. But this is a dream, right? Right? That thought is the only thing that has kept me sane for the last 15 years. But what if I'm wrong? What if it's real? They say sometimes people shut out memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father. Dropping frames again. I'm dropping frames again. There it is. Hit the big 0. Pretty sure I'm gonna disconnect real soon. Really thought it was gonna be it there. And we're green again. Alright. So basically, Yanni Yogi, Edgeworth's father, and Edgeworth were all in the elevator. Yanni Yogi started freaking out and panicking. Yo, I'm about to type this.
Okay, are we back? Are we back to normal? I pretty much summarized it in the chat, so yeah. Here we go. If you think about it this way, this letter makes sense. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Think about it. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. Wait, Edgeworth, you mean it was me? I was a true criminal of DL6. I shot my father. This is bad. What are we gonna do, Nick? What can we do? I don't know. I don't think there's anything we can do, like it or not. If there's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6 incident, maybe. There is, Nick. There is someone else who knows about DL6. Grossberg Law Offices, again. Mr. Grossberg. Ah, hello there. What's wrong? Oh, I absolutely love this game. I adore it. I actually watched a Let's Play of it back in the day. Not the entire first Ace Attorney game, but a couple of chapters, that's for sure. I don't know how many exactly, though. So, when my bitrate's in the red, you still hear me, but it becomes really pixelated. Is that correct? Are you able to hear me completely? At least for Gaztech. But maybe on Cycle Wolves and it's cutting out? That's weird. For me, the stream just stops and buffers. Yeah. That's weird. I'm not sure why it would show two different things for you guys. It's fascinating. Anyway, I'm not really sure what to do other than, like, restart the router, really. Looks like we're gonna go back in the green, though. Because it's been consistently over 1,000. No, never mind. Definitely never mind. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're in the green again. Okay. Ah, hello there. What's wrong? You look troubled. No kidding. I can't believe you're not. My. Just calm down and tell me what's happened, hmm? It's Mr. Edgeworth. I see. So Edgeworth dreamt he shot his own father. It's only a dream. Only a dream. I wonder. What? If that's the case, then why do you two look so troubled, hmm? Well, also consider this. Yogi quite certainly holds a deep grudge against Miles Edgeworth. So deep, he'd want to frame him for murder. This leads me to surmise that Mr. Edgeworth's dream was not a dream. It was real. As you imagined. Miles Edgeworth threw the pistol to save his father. The pistol fired, and the deed was done. That'd be funny, yeah. If Maya fell for Edgeworth. No, I don't believe it. Yogi was suspected of murder, and his career as a bailiff was irrevocably wrecked. Thus, he sought revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This was his last chance, of course, with the statute of limitations so close. What do you know about Edgeworth's father? He was a defense attorney without peer. It sounds trite, but it's true. You may have had one peer now that I think about it. Your mentor, Mia Fey. My sister? Gregory Edgeworth was very disapproving of Mr. Von Karma's techniques. That's no surprise. Von Karma is an extreme man. Forged testimonies and evidence are nothing to him. The result? He has a perfect win record in court. To beat him, Gregory Edgeworth tried to call attention to his methods, and he lost. He died in despair, as it were. I see. When Gregory Edgeworth was killed, the police called on a spirit medium. That was your mother, Misty Fey. I am Gregory Edgeworth. I have been killed. The one who shot me was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi. Yet Yogi was found innocent. That's when my mother left us. Everyone called her a fraud. That's right. Everyone thought she was, you see. Yet, now that I think about it, it seems to be the one who lied was Gregory Edgeworth's ghost. Gregory Edgeworth must have known who shot him. I don't believe it. So you're saying he falsified his testimony? That Edgeworth's dad lied to protect his son? It's only a possibility, mind you, but a possibility nonetheless. Oh ho, so this is the letter. It does seem that Yogi was following this letter when he killed Hammond. But why kill Robert Hammond? Hammond was a skilled defense attorney, but he defended clients not for their sake, but for his own. Huh? His own sake. He never trusted his clients. That one. The only thing he trusted was his own ability. But he got his client found innocent, so why should it matter? Actually, my dear, it's quite different. He won that innocent verdict for no one but himself. Yogi was a free man, but socially, he was ruined. Huh? You'll understand soon enough. Wait, what is it? This letter. I've seen this handwriting somewhere before, a long time ago. Whose handwriting was this? Do you have any idea who wrote this? It's either Miles Edgeworth, Yanni Yogi, or Von Karma. Maybe it was Yanni Yogi? Yanni Yogi? You claim he wrote himself this letter, then followed his own instructions? Yeah. I guess that would be what happened. Perhaps you think Mr. Yogi has a split personality, I think that's definitely a possibility, yes. No, I think not. I do not know this Yogi in any case. There's no way I would recognize his handwriting. Alright. Yes, right, I'll ask you again. Was it Von Karma himself? You think it would be inventor Von Karma? Von Karma? Why would he have something to do with this? Well, I'm not sure. Von Karma. Wait, you're right, my boy. This is Von Karma's handwriting. I'm sure of it. I used to see it all the time on court reports. What? But that means the one who told Mr. Yogi to kill was correct. Manfred Von Karma himself. What does this mean then? Why would Von Karma want to frame Edgeworth? If it was truly Von Karma who wrote this letter, then he would know the truth. He would know that Miles Edgeworth had accidentally killed his own father. He'll say as much tomorrow in court, I should think. He'll press the point until the court finds Miles Edgeworth guilty. Oh no. But how could Von Karma know about Mr. Edgeworth's past like that? Even Mr. Edgeworth thought it was just a nightmare. I do not know. Yet I do know that Von Karma is both persistent and a perfectionist. He may be seeking to satisfy a grudge against Gregory Edgeworth by hurting his son. What do you mean? It was 15 years ago. Von Karma met Gregory Edgeworth in court, and Von Karma did win, but he didn't make it through the trial unscarred. What happened in the trial between Edgeworth's dad and Von Karma? Von Karma got the guilty verdict he wanted. He won the trial, but Gregory Edgeworth accused Von Karma of faulty evidence. Even though he lost the trial, Mr. Edgeworth's accusation stood. Faulty evidence. That was the only penalty Von Karma had ever received in his career as a prosecutor. Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. A vacation? Yeah, an unusual event for the man. It was the first and last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. Really? He doesn't take vacations? Like go to the sea or to the mountains? Don't tell me he's never been to Europe. You have strange ideas about vacations, Maya. In any case, that was the only time he took a vacation from work. I believe the penalty upset him quite a lot. Odd. If he wanted to keep a perfect record so badly, why would he take such a long vacation? What do we do, Nick? Von Karma is going to bring up DL6. You can bet on it. What if Mr. Edgeworth pleads guilty to D6? I won't let him. Yes, Mr. Wright. I hate to say this, but even an accidental murder is murder, you know. I know that. I just believe in Edgeworth's innocence. I can't believe he'd kill someone. But Nick... Wait, isn't an accidental murder just manslaughter then? It's not murder. It's manslaughter. Kill the mosquito. Mr. Edgeworth admits it himself. His father must have lied to protect him from beyond the grave. I don't care. I know he's not guilty. Mr. Wright, if you say so, I suppose you could go check again. The police files might hold something of interest. Mr. Grossberg, thank you. I can't promise anything. In fact, I think the chances of finding something are slim. I understand. The police materials. There's hardly anyone here. Everyone must be out looking for the old guy, Yogi. Ah, it's you. I don't think Gumshoe will be coming back today. He's staying out late looking for someone. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is pounding the pavement for real. If we were wondering if we could check the record rooms again. Well, I can't just have anyone wandering around in there. But I guess Mr. Von Karma is in there now anyway. You can go as long as he's there. Von Karma? Yeah, he just arrived actually. Von Karma's in the records room. Nick, let's hurry. Dusty as always. We were only here just yesterday. I'm sure they haven't had time to clean. What's wrong, Nick? Nothing. I was just noticing he isn't here. Von Karma. Huh. One of the drawers here is open. Someone must have been looking in it recently. The label says, Unsolved Cases. Evidence. Unsolved Cases. Nick, the file for DL6 is completely empty. What? What are you doing in here? Eek. Von Karma. You. How do you know my name? Huh? Have we met? What are you saying? We see each other every day, don't we? We're Miles Edgeworth's defense team. Defense team? Ahem, I beg your pardon. You see, I rarely remember defense attorneys. They're like bugs in me. Needless things. To be crushed. I can see how this guy was Edgeworth's mentor. Mr. Edgeworth is your student, right? A romanticist who still can't shed that veneer of amateurism, just like his father, always second rate. Mr. Von Karma, you had an axe to grind with Mr. Gregory Edgeworth, didn't you? Me? A grudge against a mere defense attorney? Why? Because he dealt a blow to your otherwise perfect trial record? So you did. But what I don't get is, why did you take his son under your wing afterwards? The son of your most bitter rival. That, my dear attorney, is none of your business. Tomorrow will be the last day of this trial. It's been a while since I've had a defense attorney last this long. Still, you will lose in the end. Miles Edgeworth will admit his own guilt. His guilt of 15 years ago, you mean? You're quite the researcher. If you've done your homework so well, then certainly you must understand. You know what Miles Edgeworth will tell the court tomorrow. You were right. So Von Karma is going to bring up DL6 in court tomorrow. But I can present him with the letter. Probably shouldn't do it. Mr. Von Karma, have a look at this. This was you, wasn't it? You instructed Yanni Yogi to commit murder. Yanni Yogi? How many years has it been since I've heard him called by that name? He's a fool. I told him to burn it after he read it. So you admit it. You wrote Mr. Yogi this letter. Yes, my dear defense attorney. Thank you for taking the trouble to bring it to me. You've saved me from a lot of needless hassle. What? Of course, when we always show them the evidence, we lose it. Nick, what is that thing? A stun gun. For self-defense, usually. Indeed. 600,000 volts will course through your body like a dog touching an electric fence. 600,000? Oh, don't worry. People don't die from it, usually. Now give me the letter. No. No. Whoa, what are you? Nick, run! You just shocked Maya. Out of my way. You didn't run! You didn't run! He got it. The letter's gone, of course. And he took the DL6 evidence, all of it, back to having no clues. Wait, Maya jumped first. Maya, is she okay? Maya! Maya, open your eyes. Maya. The letter. Did he take it? Huh? Oh yeah, are you okay? I couldn't stop him. I jumped as fast as I could, but one shot from that thing knocked me out cold. I'm useless. I'm no good as a lawyer, or as a medium. I can't even call my sister. Not even now when we need her most. I wish I hadn't woken up at all. Maya. There has to be some way I can help her. I better do something about her self-confidence first. Maya. She's holding something. What is that? Bullet? The DL6 evidence number 7, taken from the heart of Gregory Edgeworth. I remember. Von Karma was holding this when Maya jumped him. The DL6 bullet stashed in a pocket. I'll prove it to you, Maya. You're most definitely not useless. I'll prove it to you in court tomorrow. Da 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 da. Saving. December 28th, 9:51 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Here we go again. This is it. Judgment Day. Today, things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. Warg. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock still hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a little pat on the back. Maya! Maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right. Good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Whoa, yeah, pal. Hey, it must be Gumshoe.
What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth.
Good morning.
How did it go, Detective? Have no fear. As I promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi said he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember the past? He does remember, and I'm gonna prove it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right. Very well. We've reached the final day in our proceedings in this trial. I ask the prosecution to submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement? Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into your courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake, from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has recently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I'd need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi and I'm going to prove it. I'm really sorry about leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. Then why did you leave? He's just about to say why. Is it so far for you to quietly listen when someone is talking? If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? Food? Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker shack? Well, I kinda got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's gonna believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. You've lost so much of your memory, is that correct? Yep, seems like it. Then how could you know you don't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. Gotta reconnect. You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past, or lack thereof, in question. But does this really have to do anything with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Objection, I have returned. Welcome back, Crazy Berry.
Order. Order. Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ho ho! Now this is interesting. I'd like to know myself. So who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us the witness's name. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name sounds familiar. Oh, Yanni Yogi, from the DL6 incident. Figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay, it's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on the file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burnt my fingers working with the stuff. Yep. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burnt your fingerprints off to hide the past? Well, the witness has no fingerprints. I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No. Tisk, tisk, tisk. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided, no? No. I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we gonna do? I can't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to. Your Honor. The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up on my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order! Order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes out of it, I'll be ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Hell yeah, I'm doing it. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name? The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Ahem. Very well, witness. Who's your owner? Please, testify for us. Hello, hello. Squawk. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well. Begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you gonna do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Who is your owner? Hello, hello, Squawk. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right. What do I say? Maybe I should get her to say her name. Polly, Polly, what's your name? Polly, Polly, Squawk. Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Yes, it does. Ha, fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking your bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof is that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity. Is in the DL6 case file. Because after his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. The case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? Show us, or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please show us the page. Where in this file? Third page. It's on the suspect dated page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Bah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix, right? Does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Indeed. Alone, it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We would need some other corroborating evidence. Where are we gonna find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we can just get one more piece of evidence. Right. But what? Very well, witness. You may continue. Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me. Frankly, I can't believe you're speaking to the parrot. Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. We should show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. Hello, hello. As I recall, 2 days ago. Polly, have we forgotten something? Squawk. Don't forget DL6. Squawk. If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, Squawk. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot. Hello, Squawk. Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond if we asked if we've forgotten anything? Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me. Alright. Wow. What's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number on the safe in the shack? 1228, 1228.
Maya, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Huh, that's ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? Good question, actually. Let me check. 1228. The date. It's on the case summary. The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to that safe number? It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically the date on which DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident, December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah. He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important the date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card number to 0001 because I'm number 1. That has nothing to do with the date. Nothing. He should probably change his card number. I think we've reached a conclusion here. It's a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time make it seem more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. Oh shoot! I've accomplished what I've wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think, finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order. Yanni Yogi. So what, was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. It was a plan. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Oh, the bit rate. Oh, the bit rate. Tanking again. Come on, bit rate. Come on, bit rate. Come on, bit rate. Don't do this to me. Come on, bit rate. Come on, bit rate. Don't do this to me. Come on, bit rate. Please. Don't do this to me. Come on, bit rate. Come on, bit rate. No! Back to normal? Get in the green, please. I'm still dropping frames, though. Still dropping frames, though. Relaunching the stream. And there we go. It's in the green again. Alright. Now then. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Von Karma. Where is Yanni Yogi? Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. And the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case, so I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Did someone just say objection? Wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means no. Edgeworth, Your Honor. I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all.
As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's gonna say he's guilty. He's gonna tell him he was a murderer in the DL6 incident. He's gonna tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do?
Objection!
The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear it, Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I've had a reoccurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare, it's what I told myself, but now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer. The criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6. The statute of limitations which ends today. The culprit is me. Order. Order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah. It's obvious. We hold the trial. Right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. I'm sorry, Wright. I just wasted all your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, sir. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. Well, actually, it's manslaughter. This is crazy. Just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case for what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? You just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today.
Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. And testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get to work. Please, please. Here we go. The DL6 incident. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Then something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah, the same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and I know Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. So there were 3 people trapped, including yourself, in the elevator.
Are we gonna go disconnect? Are we gonna go green again, or what? Looks like we went green again.
Alright. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator? Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed, no one came to help. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling, in the corner. But then, just then, something heavy fell at my feet. What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next? I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous, but the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. To this day, yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is, one part of that testimony that clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what that means. I better find out quick. I'm gonna say it was the DL6 incident, but I'm gonna say first.
And we're back.
All right. That wasn't it. Okay, let's go over that DL6 case file again. Air in the elevator was oxygen depleted at the time of the incident. No clues found on the scene. Defense attorney trapped in elevator, returning from a lost childhood son. Miles Edgeworth, age 9, 1 bullet found in heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Oh, there we go. Okay. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. Here we go again. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence, unless you can tell us what page it's on. It's on case summary. Wrong page. Look at the victim data in this file. It says quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. I didn't remember what page it was on. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So who fired the remaining shot? Was it perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, I'm sure you're aware this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There's no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point. Mr. Wright, the murder weapon was fired twice, as we heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with the case? Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, show us proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of this pistol...
It's the picture. I forgot about the picture. Look at this photograph.
This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please, get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo. The spot by the window. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from a pistol, yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that shot. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright. But who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary. That's on page 1. Look at what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If a pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life had to have been by his own son. That is the truth of the matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door.
Order. I will have order.
Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident.
The murder weapon was fired twice. Twice at the time of the incident. Twice. 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 The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So, all we have is a single bullet fired. I'm afraid we have to discount the defense's claim. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? I have the bullet right now. I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick, if the second bullet wasn't there, then all my No. You said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. But I saw the photograph. I thought 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Mr. Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Yes, I did. Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on murder Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone else have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. I have an objection. Your Honor. Your Honor, I object. Tisk. It's the second bullet. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, huh? Nick, I don't know.
It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist, but where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet. It existed. What? But we just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just that someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer. Then tell us, who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? Of course there was a need. That's why they took it. What possible reason could they have had? Well, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene with them is... maybe they thought that the bullet would be used as proof. Proof. It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. If that's the case, then they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Huh? Why would they only take one of the two shots fired? Alright, Mr. Wright, have you really thought this through? I'm gonna have to penalize you. This isn't going so well. Was there some pressing need? I guess it's the other one. The murderer didn't need it. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? The murderer had no reason to take the bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. I had to take it. I had to take it. The murderer. What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why it had to be taken. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to. What do you mean? Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there, you know. Wait a second. I was talking off the top of my head, but what if that's what really happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime? Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes, but there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from the elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Gani Yogi, were both unharmed, so that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator, trying to stop them. The boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. Defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it, deny it. No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey Nick, huh? I just thought of something. Really crazy. Crazy. Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. Must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for... I'm a bit ready. Okay, what if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, You have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out to say it now? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. Von Karma! Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? You're claiming I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who this doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth, I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait, what does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere. Where? The bullet is still inside of him. Can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Alright, Von Karma. I'll prove it. I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is none other than this metal detector. Hold up, though. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, I can't save. Please tell me it's the metal detector. I'm just waiting for the bitrate to clear up first. I'm waiting for the bitrate. I'm waiting for the bitrate. Come on, bitrate. Come on, bitrate. Come on, bitrate. Come on, bitrate. Alright, we're back. Alright, here we go. Metal detector it is. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it is unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean? I do. There's the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm gonna run this over you and see what we find. Now he's freaking out. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? Order! 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 Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. He reacted. Something is in his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma. You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove it? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright. Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course you can. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. 1 day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. I am saving here. Right now. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. Uh-oh. 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 Is it the bullet? That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. It was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets, and then if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder, and we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet, and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma, murder. Ah! Ooh. That scream. I heard that scream before. Wait. Help. I can't breathe. Quiet. I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma. What? Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record, and you You left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death. Death. 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I would never have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth. It was a shock like none I'd have ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was a perfect crime. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge! What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, yes, Your Honor? You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. The court is adjourned. December 28th, 5:38 p.m. Nick, we did it. Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but you crushed him, Nick. Crushed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know. I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself, but now it's all a good memory. So, finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry. I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Whoop. Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoop. I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Well, yeah, let bygones be bygones, eh? Come on, Bitrate. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Bitrate. Thank you. Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh. Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. I had a sad face, Larry. What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kiance. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that coming. Yo, Edgy. There you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here's a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think I'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me. It's got money in it. Well, yeah. That's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird moment. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly. Nick, wasn't that the exact amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38. No. No! Larry, it was you! What are you surprised about, right? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as the suspect. What? Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. And he saw the money lying there. And the rest is history. I was never good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright. I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, huh? Edgeworth. You should have told me. Now, Nick. It was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? Okay, so, yes. There you have it. Grr. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you have always been something of an unsufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if I'd known, I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around.
There we go. Same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey, y'all. Line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go. And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. December 29th, 5:02 a.m. Wright and Company Law Offices. Whoa. I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium. In training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I could say it to your face. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? The first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station. I guess I'm too late. Hey, Nick, Maya. So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait. What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help.
Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up. That's right. You found the DL6 bullet. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced that he had taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6, but you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. It was a bullet that put an end to Von Karma. You were the one who gave it to me, Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. And now our train is leaving. Goodbye, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Uh-oh, we got credits! Hey, pal. Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a present supplies. Whoop, Detective Gumshoe. Then he hung his head low and went back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Huh? Nick? Nah, haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Oh, and she's Hawaii right now, yeah. Oh, Larry, you have terrible taste in girlfriends. Who? Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. Phoenix Wright? The defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for. Yes. Oh, you should have known. I've taken over management. You should stop by. If you are in the area, please stand by. You must be bananas to take the butts.
Ahem. Hmm? Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him as of late. Ha, the days of my youth. Like the scent of a fresh lemon, you see. Uh-huh, of course. Oh no! My bit rate! My bit rate! No! No, 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 no. My bit rate. No. Oh, it's Old Bag. Phoenix Wright. Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. And then she goes on rambling. Of course. I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess was a hit. I'm sure that I owe Mr. Wright a great deal. I'm keeping my face out of the public till the show's over. Wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her. The one inside the Pink Princess suit. What a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age. Yeah, rip to the stream, am I right? Rip. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Huh? Me? I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. And here he is! That's a great picture. Oh, the ghost! It's Mia! It's Mia! Oh my god! It's Mia! A brand new episode has been added. Rise from the Ashes. Huh. Is this like a full episode? I'm just gonna examine the walkthrough real quickly. Yes, I am saving. Rise from the Ashes is episode 5. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, it's essentially like another section. Like, I guess the series is divided into different sections or something, and there's like different stories along the way within like groups of chapters. That's what I think is going on, and that was essentially like the first section completed. Alright, episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. I will play this some other time. I don't even know if I'm going to play it tomorrow, really. But it was good that we could get another episode finished. That was a lot of fun. I just wish I didn't have so much trouble with the connection. Kind of lame.
Now, is there anything else that I can go over? Probably not. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. This is a great... It is a great series. Anyway. I guess I'll just end it now. Again, huge thanks to you, Crazy Barry, for offering to show me that fan art. Yes, I still have that nudes meme up. It's too funny. Again, I'm not gonna show too much, but I just want to like show that fan art real quick, because that's just awesome. Oh, Von Karma. Oh, Von Karma. Oh, Von Karma. Again, it's great. I love it. 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 Seriously. Amazing stuff, Crazy Barry. Thank you. It means a lot. Yeah. Alright. I think I'm gonna head off now. It was a great stream. I wish that I could, like, you know, not disconnect every 5 minutes, but it'll have to do. We still have fun regardless. Maybe I should pirate the games, just so, like, you know, we can actually, like, stream decently. And I mean, like, I've been trying so hard to get this to work. Man, it just sucks, man. It just sucks because, like, I have everything I need. I just can't run it smoothly. Because, I mean, unless I could run an Ethernet cable to my PC, how am I gonna do it? Anyway, thanks so much, you guys, for showing up again. It was a blast. It's never this much fun without you guys. That's why I stream instead of recording Let's Plays, because, well, it's so much more fun with people. Alright. I'm gonna take off now. I gotta go get some sleep. Alright. Am I gonna connect all of the VODs? You mean videos on demand? Probably not. I don't know how to. If you could show me, like, other than, like, you know, other than, like, editing in Premiere, I don't know. But yeah, I'm really tired. I gotta get some rest. I'll see you guys later.